Yeah, here we are at the lake that is new to me. This lake is. I've fished it for all day yesterday and this morning. I stayed all night. Caught 3 this morning. I've caught, I think I landed 10 total or so. I lost at least that many from snags and hook poles and whatnot. But this right here looks like one of the best ones. I'll weigh here in a minute. I'll weigh him here in a minute. This is my boat bivvy I'm fishing out of, but I'll weigh it here in a minute. But right here's what we got. That's a mid-teens. That's what they've all been, about 15 pounds. I think he might go 16. Look at that little orange right there in his belly. He's pretty. He was an angry one. He put up a big fight. Alright, here I am in my boat bivvy. I'm in a lake I actually not fished before, but I've wanted to for a long time. Guy gave me some pointers. Shout out to Ricky Massey. He recommended some baits to use and locations on this lake. He fished from the bank and fished from the boat. That he has information that he shared with me. It's supposed to produce up to 30 pounds. My average here, and I caught a dozen probably in a couple days. I landed a couple. I hooked probably double that. Hook poles and line and snags and breaks and issues with my line, my own issues really, but and maybe some rig issues. I'm adjusting, trying new rigs, but I think I have it down now. I caught 3 this morning in a couple hour span, and they're all averaging. My biggest one I weighed was 15 pounds, 7 ounces, I think. And smallest ones, I didn't weigh them all, but I'm going to say around 13. So 13 to 15 pound average here. That's what I caught. I'm not saying that's the average here, but that's my average. This is, I'm using turbo German rigs and D rigs I'm playing with, and I kind of like the D rigs. Seems like them turbo German rigs are similar to the rumors I hear about which is a very similar rig, is the Ronnie rig. So the turbo German rig, if you're not familiar, is pretty much identical. It is identical to the Ronnie rig, except it does not have a loop where it hooks to your hook. It ties directly and tight to your hook with the swivel, not to your hook, but to the swivel that hooks to your hook. So you still have the movement like a Ronnie rig. I mean, it spins, it's able to turn, so it's supposed to turn hook better, but for some reason I don't understand. It does seem like it gets hook poles to me, or that's what I'm suspecting. It might just be me overthinking it, but after watching Corda's underwater videos and such, other underwater videos, I have switched over to a D rig I've been using and trying, and it seems to work. It seems like I don't have hook poles as much, and I like a long hook. I'm not sure it makes a difference, but I like a long pattern hook. Right now it's the trig hammer. They've come out, everybody's worried about, or they say that they bend and straighten on them, but if you get the XT, which is extra tough ones, I don't think they will, but I have never had a hook bend on a fish, but I don't catch 50-pound fish either, or 40-pounders, but the drag seems like to me should give way before your hook does. I'm not sure how bad of a hook it's got to be, or how tight you got your drag and heavy your line is to bend a hook, but I don't. My bait is, again, Ricky Massey suggested for this venue was pop-up corn, or he said pop-ups, but I'm pretty sure he means pop-up. He's talking about the pop-up corn. So I did it, I tipped it with that and had flavored corn with it, which was old classic Bates flavored corn, a cherry and Scopex. I can't say one did better than the other. Pink and yellow is what Ricky suggested for the pop-up corn, and that's what I used, and they both caught. I didn't try any other colors because those were working. I used PVA bags with the World Classic bait, ground bait in it, and I put I added panko to it, but I just like using these. They're not as messy, and I can make several of them up. This is strawberry. I had some peach. I don't know if one worked better than the other. They both seem to work. But yeah, I like the stuff. It's a little powdery, it's dried. It had no liquids to it or anything, but I thought about it. I like it when it packs better, but you got to find a PVA friendly liquid, which there's plenty out there, but I just didn't do any. My rod, reel setup, I've got some, they're not high dollar stuff. Even the rod pod I rigged up, you've seen it in other videos. If you want to see what exactly my setup for my rod pod is, I got a video for it. Might need to update that, but this is the boat bivvy. It's awning system on a boat, but I've set it up with a rod pod up in the front. So the front is all the fishing part, and this back here is the living quarters and where I do things. It had a storm last night and it kept me dry. And I got, they're called, oh shoot, what are those called? The shallow water anchors, power pole shallow water anchors to hold me in place so I don't have to deploy an anchor and try to adjust them tight, and I don't have to use dock augers, which is what I did in the past per Tim's recommendation, and they work too. Just that you got to have the right. This ground here would have been tough because this is hard ground right here. These had a hard time holding in this ground too, but I got two of them in the back to help me keep from moving side to side. But they do flex, so I do get some movement. So my bite alarms, which are Delkin TXIDs, I set them up the response way up high, so I have to move quite a bit, and I've run my lines pretty slack, so I got plenty of movement before so I don't get an instant indication though. They'll probably get a bite and then an indication before, they run a little bit, but you know how carp are. It's not like they sit there and nibble at it. You gotta go grab it and set the hook. With these hair rigs or the hair style rigs. The fish jumped right there. I'm fixing to pack up. This is the end. I didn't really get any videos of me doing this. I did take pictures of the fish, which I will post on my YouTube channel. Blind Sow Fishing. This is the setup though. I did weigh the fish with a good scale. It's a Reuben Heaton scale, digital scale. So there's no guesswork on my part, and they're pretty accurate, the most accurately known ones. There's plenty of room to work in this thing. I really like this boat bivvy. It's comfortable for 2-3 days is the longest I've ever done. I could probably do longer, but I'd need to break on a bank somewhere. In fact, it'd be nice to find a place. I see a place over there I could probably set up on a bank, but it says no camping here, so I didn't attempt to do that. Yeah, this is it was a good trip. I like this lake. I'll be back. I'll turn the but thanks for watching Blind Sow Fishing. I really appreciate you guys watching and subscribing and to my channel. Until next time, man, and there will be a next time. Although it was hot, might be a little longer. Might need to wait for this to cool down just a touch. But I'll tell you what you guys think of my boat bivvy and boat fishing, carp fishing from a boat is all about. I personally think it's a great idea, a way to get, because there's not access to bank everywhere, so you don't. This makes it much better to find a spot to fish. You have to find a spot's shallow enough, close to the place you want to be to fish. And I find I probably need to start paying attention to the bottom so I can anchor down a little better with my shallow water anchor to dig in, and maybe put a spike in the front. I got a spike that do it to keep that wave from going around. And you also have to, one of the biggest issues is which way is the wind blowing, and you don't want to be sideways to the wind, because then it's really going to put pressure on everything, trying to hold your boat steady. So I usually face, since my power pole turning back, I face away from the wind, not into it. If I try to face into it, it would try to really pull that way too. Just a few things, and I'm still trying to work things out on how to set my rods up. I set my drags real light and use a heavy lead, because I'm thinking if I set it light enough that it doesn't move my lead, then I'll be all right, because if it does move, it won't pull my leads and rigs off the bottom. I use inlines because the clip-on lead clips will allow your bait to move a little bit, because it swivels there. So that's why I think these inlines are better. But anyway, I'll quit rambling on and just tell me what you guys think. I love fishing. Fishing for carp is my newest addiction. So, oh shoot, I might have a bite here. So, until next time.